Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm just back from a vacation in Spain and I'm back to making more videos for you guys. So today I wanted to address the topic of how much it would cost you to become a doctor in Germany, because I've been getting a lot of questions on this topic, and there were some people who were saying that they were asking if it cost 20 lakhs or 50 lakhs. Somebody was asking me if it was 60 lakhs. These are crazy numbers. It costs nothing like this. And I think it will be clear to you once you understand the steps to get to Germany. It's sort of vague in the minds of several candidates, and they're not sure as to what steps they need to take to get to Germany and how much each of these steps will cost. So let's break down the steps and see how much each of these steps costs. So to get to Germany, you have to go through the following steps. Number one, you have to get your B2 German language certificate. Number two, you have to get your visa. Number three is you have to take and pass your Fachsprachenprüfung exam. Number four, let's say you have not got an appointment to take your permanent registration exam, that is the Gleichwertigkeitsprüfung, or also called the Kenntnisprüfung, if sometimes you don't get an appointment directly for it. So in this time period, you can work in Germany in many German hospitals on a temporary registration, and this is called a Berufserlaubnis. So the amount that is charged to get your Berufserlaubnis, and when you get an appointment for your permanent registration exam, that is a Kenntnisprüfung or the approbation exam, the cost of your approbation exam, that is to get your permanent registration. So these are the different costs that you have to bear in ultimately passing the exam and becoming a registered doctor in Germany so that you can start working in Germany. Let's just see the cost of the steps after you get your visa. That is starting from your Fachsprachenprüfung until your permanent registration exam. So the first and foremost thing is the Fachsprachenprüfung exam. Now, the Fachsprachenprüfung exam, like I've mentioned in previous videos, is to check your German vocabulary, whether you're able to communicate with patients, whether you're able to take a detailed history in the German language, and whether you're able to present a case in the German language. So this is the Fachsprachenprüfung exam. And this exam costs anywhere between 400 to 600 euros, depending on which state you apply in. So let's have a look at some of the examples here. The price of the Fachsprachenprüfung depends on which state you take the exam in. For example, in the state of Baden-Württemberg, it's around 420 euros. In the state of Bayern, also called Bavaria, it's around 500 euros. In the state of Berlin, it's around 420 euros. In the state of Brandenburg, it's around 487 euros. In the state of Bremen, it's around 530 euros. In the state of Hamburg, it's around 400 euros. And in the state of Hessen, where Frankfurt is located, it's anywhere between 390 to 650 euros, depending on if you have done C1 medicine course, if you have done a course in the Freiburg International Academy or the BRMI Academy, for example. In the state of Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, in the northeast of the country, it's around 600 euros. In the state of Niedersachsen, also called Lower Saxony, it's around 455 euros. In the state of North Rhine-Westphalia, it's around 350 euros. In the state of Rhineland-Pfalz, also called Rhineland-Palatinate in English, it's around 425 euros. In the state of Saarland, it's around 390 to 450 euros. And in the state of Sachsen, it's around 425 euros. And in the state of Sachsen-Anhalt, it's around 430 euros. And in the state of Schleswig-Holstein, it's between 390 to 600 euros. And in the state of Thüringen, it's around 450 euros. After you pass your Fachsprachenprüfung exam, let's say you don't get an appointment straight away for your permanent registration exam. Let's say you have some gap between your Fachsprachenprüfung and your appointment for your Approbationsprüfung. This time period, you can work on a temporary registration in Germany. You will be paid your normal salary, and it's something like you'll be working under supervision, theoretically, in the sense that you will not be allowed to do night shifts, etc. Now, to get your temporary registration, you need a job offer. So you approach a hospital and say, you know, I want to work, I've not yet got my approbation exam dates, I want to work on a temporary basis, and they might issue your contract, and with this contract you apply for a temporary registration, and this temporary registration costs, as you can see here, anywhere between 350 to 600 euros as well, depending on which state you apply. So here we have an example of all the possible costs that you might have to bear in getting an approbation. So this is the website of the Landesärztekammer Sachsen, that is the medical council of the state of Saxony. Now Saxony is one of the 16 states of Germany in the eastern part of the country, and this is how much they charge, and almost all states have similar charges, maybe a difference of a few euros here and there, but usually this is how much they charge for getting yourself registered with the medical council. So let's see what the costs are like in case of the Medical Council of Saxony or Landesärztekammer Sachsen. So bei einer deutschen Approbation, that is a German candidate applying for permanent registration, is 170 euros. So Approbation bei einem Abschluss in einem der übrigen Mitgliedstaaten der Europäischen Union oder in einem anderen Vertragsstaat des Abkommens über den Europäischen Wirtschaftsraum oder der Schweiz. That is permanent registration or approbation when the candidate has a degree from one of the member states of the European Union or another country which has some kind of a contract with the European Union, or in the European Economic Zone, cooperation with the European Economic Zone or Switzerland. So the doctors from other countries of the European Union, or those that have a cooperation with the European Union or belong to the European Economic Area Zone, those candidates will have to pay 300 euros. So the next one, Approbation bei einem Abschluss in einem sogenannten Drittstaat. That is, this is applicable for all candidates coming from outside the European Union. So what does it say? Ohne vorherige Erteilung einer Berufserlaubnis. That is, so this is for temporary registrations. If ohne vorherige Erteilung einer Berufserlaubnis, that is, if you haven't applied for a temporary registration before and you're applying it for the first time, in that case you have to pay 490 euros. But you have already applied once, in that case it's 170 euros. So here, Approbation bei einem Abschluss in einem sogenannten Drittstaat. So that is, you are applying for a permanent registration. Let's say you've passed your registration exam, that is, you've passed your Kenntnisprüfung, or also called the Gleichwertigkeitsprüfung. You have passed it, and now you want to apply for your registration. In this case, if you have already had a temporary registration before, so if you haven't applied for a temporary registration before and now you're directly applying for a permanent registration after passing then you have to pay 490 euros. And if you have already worked with the temporary registration and now you're applying for a permanent registration, you just have to pay 170 euros. I hope this is clear. If you've already worked with the Berufserlaubnis, in this case, when you apply for permanent registration, you have to pay just 490 euros. If you have already worked, then you pay 170 euros with the temporary registration. So, Erteilung einer Berufserlaubnis. So, if you are applying for a temporary registration, it costs 490 euros. And if you want to extend your temporary registration, it will cost you 170 euros. And this is the most expensive one. That is Feststellung der Gleichwertigkeit nach Prüfungsaufwand im Einzelfall. That is, let's say you want your documents processed and you are claiming that your degree is equivalent to that of a German degree. So they have to get an expert to go through your documents. So depending on how much work they might have to do to go through your documents, it will cost anywhere between 220 until 2,860 euros. So this is the most expensive one. Normally it is around 1,000, 1,200. it could be as low as 220. This depends on where the candidate is coming from. So this varies in different states, but you can calculate, let's say, 1500 here. So gut aktuelle Prüfung der Gleichwertigkeit. So this means an expert checking the validity of your documents will cost 1773 euros. And Prüfung der Referenzqualifikation 417 Euro. That is examining the reference qualifications. Let's say you have additional qualifications in, this is what I meant by your reference qualification, that is your PG degrees and any additional qualifications that you have. If you want them checked, it is 417. Once you pass your permanent registration exam, you have got your approbation or your permanent registration, and you are like any other German doctor in Germany. Your permanent registration is valid in all states of Germany. You don't have to go to another state and apply for a registration again. This is applicable in all 16 states of Germany, and not just that, it's applicable in all other EU countries. As you can see, the total cost to work as a doctor in Germany will be around 2,500, and maximum, in the worst case scenario, it will be around 3,000 euros, which is around 2 to 2.5 lakhs. And I'm sure most of you can afford this. And once you start working on a temporary registration, you will be earning 2,000 to 2,500 per month anyways, which is more than enough to cover all your costs and pay for all your exams. Of course, it's an absolute no-brainer. Please don't pay anybody any money. You can do this yourself. I, all those years ago, had nobody helping me out. Nowadays, you have all these channels like mine and probably others. You have so much of information available online. And once my online course on how to become a doctor in Germany is out, you can do everything step by step yourself. It will be a guided course which you can follow to get to Germany. You don't need any other information. All the information will be provided in my channel or the other channels. And I had no such information at the time, and I did it myself within 2,000 euros. And I'm sure with all the information that you have, you too can do it well within 2,000 to 2,500 euros. And sooner or later, you will get to where you want. So if you have any questions, post on my Instagram, and click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more such content. My German course will be out very soon. And until next time, bye.